Welcome to football camp. Today we will be doing linebacker drills. First, let me see what you... No! Your base of support is all wrong.
Base of support is the area enclosed by the outermost edge of the body in contact with the supporting surface. As you can see in the first picture, the narrow stance of the linebacker creates a small base of support. In the second picture, the wider stance allows for a larger base of support. The larger the base of support, the less likely the center of mass will shift, resulting in a more stable system.
Your base of support is too narrow. You need to widen your legs to increase your base of support and stability. So now that you know base of support, let's try this again.
Center of mass is the point around which a body's mass is equally balanced in all directions. It determines the manner in which the body responds to forces. It can be altered by moving the body and limbs. In a contact sport, you want the center of mass to be over the edge of the base of support at which contact is to take place. The linebacker in the first picture is easily overcome due to the center of mass being directly over the base of support. The linebacker in the second picture will be more difficult to overcome due to the center of mass being forward in the direction of contact. This shift in the center of mass makes it more difficult for the opposing player to push the center of mass outside the base of support.
Your center of mass is all wrong. It's directly over top the base of support. To increase stability, you want your center of mass lower and at the top of your base of support. Now let's try this again. That's great! You're establishing equilibrium with the opposing force. Now that we've gone over stability, let's work on a few more drills. Your impulse was less than your opponent's. In order to complete a successful tackle, you want your impulse greater than your opponent's.
Impulse is the product of force and time. Impulse is dependent on both the magnitude of the force and on the length of time over which each force acts. It applies to both speeding things up and slowing things down. When impulse acts on a system, the result is the change in the system's total momentum. The more force that is applied during a period of time, the greater the impulse, and therefore the greater the momentum. Since when two objects collide, both objects tend to continue moving in the direction of motion originally possessed by the object with the greater momentum, linebackers should strive to have the greater impulse and therefore the greater momentum so that they can overtake their opponent.
Y'all have done so for the first day, but now we have one more drill, so let's finish strong. Where are your cleats?
Friction is the resistance that one surface or object encounters when moving over another. It acts at the interface of surfaces in contact and in the direction opposite motion or impending motion. There is both static and kinetic friction. Static friction occurs when an object is static or not in motion. Kinetic friction is present during motion. As an applied force increases, so does the static friction magnitude until maximum static friction is reached. At this point, static friction turns into kinetic friction. Kinetic friction remains constant regardless of force applied. The smooth-bottom shoes worn did not provide enough friction for the linebacker to resist the opposing linebacker and remain static. Switching to cleats allows the linebacker to achieve enough friction to resist the oncoming linebacker and hold their ground.
Good job, guys! You see how cleats help you stay your ground? Great practice. We got a lot to work on, but what did you learn today, Tom?
I learned that by increasing my base of support in the direction of the oncoming force increases my stability. By putting my center of mass at the front of my base of support also increases my ability to oppose the oncoming force or to meet that force with the same amount of force. I learned that by lowering my center of mass vertically helps me be more stable as well. I learned that increasing friction helps you to stand your ground. And if I apply more force in the beginning of the tackle, I'll have a greater impulse and it'll allow me to apply more force to my opponent.
Great job. I see you learned a lot. You are at the Mountaineers Boot Camp today, and today you will be doing linebacker drills. Today, I'm gonna start off with, I don't know the name of the drill.
Sorry.
Wow, that is with a linebacker.
It's flat.
Mountaineers Boot Camp.
Hardware. We can edit.
I might need to put my other foot back, actually.
Do what you
Not playing around. Alright.
Ready? Hold on.